I have been trying to do Pluto and Scorpio all day, all day, and everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do. So I had to pray to the Lord of Hades himself and say, my nigga was good. I'm trying to do a video about you. You know, let me give me some slack. So finally, at 10 o'clock in the evening, I get to do Pluto in Scorpio. And it's been work. Work. It's been work. Like I told you, like I told all of you, not much is written about Pluto in Scorpio or all the other signs before Cancer. And there's nothing written about Pluto in Capricorn or in Aquarius or Pisces. For you to know about these signs and Pluto in these signs, you're going to have to rely on us, the current astrologers of the age. And we know scant material is going to take you, astrologers, in the making that will replace me to really define and really tell the story of Pluto in Scorpio and all the other signs of the zodiac throughout the wheel. But first, let me introduce you to this delicious Tanqueray gin. Now you all know that I like gin, but I don't drink gin often. Maybe here and there, a little dash, a little gray, a little blue. You know, I'm talking about 2 or 3 times a year, if that. But this is full of gin, infused with vodka and whiskey and the fruit. And the fruit that I was drinking, that sweet wine from Australia earlier. Here we go. So, you know, fuck up. Fuck up. Fuck me up. Gin, oh God. Lord, give us strength for what you are about to hear about Pluto in Scorpio, the ruler of its own sign. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So you know I needed to drink gin for this. And you know, ain't nothing here, ain't nothing on YouTube or in any other type of social media that comes close to what I gotta tell you about Pluto and Scorpio. But it ain't none. It's gonna have to come from us. And I've been researching Pluto and Scorpio, so I can bring you the real deal about the planet, the sign, and mm, oof. And I was getting myself ready. I was getting myself ready all day. And I've been drinking all day, all night long. But I've been eating too. I made a nice stew, a delicious stew with carrots and celeries and what's that? A broccoli and lentils, all kinds of shit with some ginger. You know, I'm Virgo. I know about health and the body. I be drugging and smoking and drinking, you don't know. But I bounce back the next day. Because you know what you don't see that I do is that I drink my teas. I take my black seed oil, my oregano oil, my dandelion oil, my maca root, soursop, Irish moss, I take care of business. And that's why you see me just revitalize, like if I had no drug on my system at all. My eyes might seem strained and leery and tired, but I work nights, and I've been like that my whole life. That ain't about drugs. That's just about me just working and not getting adequate sleep. But I'm changing that. Being in Florida has done me a world of good, and it's good for my skin. I gotta throw that. I gotta throw that. Oh, well, Pluto in Scorpio. I had done Pluto in Scorpio and I did 4 videos and it didn't go through because they did not want me to tell you the shit. So I had to modify the information. When I did Pluto in Sag, that was at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's now 10 o'clock, 10:20, 10:10 in the evening. From that point on to now, I've been trying to do Pluto in Scorpio and I've been having difficulty. I've been back to back, back to back. Pluto in Scorpio symbolizes might, might, strong might. The black that I wear, okay? The black that I wear. These are these are the colors of Pluto, okay? Black and red. And if you don't see me, that's because Pluto doesn't like to be seen. He likes to hide, you know? He do. He do. He loves to hide, but he hides in plain sight. Pluto is very, very dark, very sensual, and very sexual, and perverted, and wicked. He'll fuck anything that moves. Man, woman, child, animal, fruits. Pluto rules sex, and Scorpio rules sex. So in this department, nothing is sacred. He'll fuck a 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old granny and fuck a 10-year-old. Girl, oh boy, it's amoral, wicked, and decadent. It's its own law of being. It follows and respects no law but its own law of being. With Pluto in Scorpio, there's no compromise. And the only concern of those born with Pluto in Scorpio is to indulge themselves in pure hedonistic sensuality, sexuality, pulling from the opposite polarity of Taurus, fixed earth. Taurus symbolizes the physical body and the sensuality of the physical body and sexual power between the loins. Okay? It is extremely hedonistic, erotic, pulsatingly sexy, but perverted and twisted and masochistic, sadistic. Marquise de Sade comes to mind when we're dealing with Pluto in Scorpio. Those who enjoy physical pain at the same time that they're at the height of orgasm or sexual is Pluto in Scorpio. Well, you're fucking the bitch and you're choking her at the same time. And you take her or him at that threshold where they can choke to death, either to the explosive orgasm or by the lack of oxygen. And then let it go. It is an excellent of ecstasy and deeply sensuous pleasures. Pluto in Scorpio. Who can handle such an intensity? Pluto in Scorpio is thinking about sex and fucking all day, all night long, salivating, pulsating, erotic fantasies, insatiable appetite, mostly perverse. So perverse that the person born with Pluto in Scorpio is ashamed to admit it to himself, let alone talk about it with anybody else. You gotta have a stomach to hear some of the perversity concerning those born with Pluto in Scorpio and what stays in their mind. We have not seen anything like it. Pluto in Scorpio. When Pluto entered Scorpio, it was 1983. 1981, if we go with the retrograde. And that was happening between 1981, 1982, 1982, but it actually really went in 19 and left Libra in 1971. And it was going, and no, it entered Libra in 1971. And again, it didn't stay long in Libra, and it entered Scorpio, and it didn't stay long in Scorpio either. Thank God. Thank God. Because when Pluto entered Scorpio in 1983, after it went through its periods of retrogradation, we experienced the AIDS epidemic, the AIDS crisis. Thousands and thousands of Americans were infected, either through blood transfusion or unprotected sex, anal sex, or vaginal and or oral sex. We didn't know what it was that was killing people. Something that was attacking the immune system and killing people left and right. A gay white man's disease is what they call HIV. Only gay white men caught the virus. Well, that was just another form of stigmatizing a targeted population and demonizing a gender of white, rich, privileged men in which the church at the time and the moral law and voice of society at that time declared that it was a punishment from God, that these gays and faggots deserve what they get. A lot of judgment. And the gavel of judgment came upon the gay white men, boom, and they should rightfully die of this disease. Ah, but our demi-urgent God and its archons had a lot more in store. Women got infected. Straight men fucking men on the down low brought the virus to their wives and infected their wives. I can go on, and then we got the blacks infected, and then the Latinos, and then before you know it, the elderly. Everybody was susceptible to the virus. And if you think it was bad in the United States, people were dying left and right in the millions around the world. It was an ethnic cleansing. Pluto in Scorpio. Oh, the bee. I, I, I. Pluto in Scorpio. Ooh. Mm. I gotta smoke a spliff. As I listen to Tito Puente, God, another Tito, um, the kind of music you can dance in a pole, a pole dancing. I miss them days. Pluto in Scorpio. Oh, sexy, sensual, dangerous, and very determined to get what he wants. What he wants. Even if death is necessary. Oh God, this gin. No, it's working. Hi. Pluto. Yeah. The last time Pluto was in Scorpio was in the 1500s, 1600s, where we had the Black Death, the bubonic plague, which decimated all of Europe. And then there was a midpoint of Pluto in the 1930s when it went retrograde, when it entered in the 1840s, conjunct Uranus, which heralded the Industrial Revolution. Well, grazing and farming by man-made machinery was replaced by gas, water, pressure, and heat pumps that created machines, turning fumes, and created pipeline machines that created the grazing and production of cotton, um, rice, and we had elevators that were actually electronic. Pluto conjunct Uranus and that part of the early part of the 19th century, or the mid part of the 19th century, was another breakthrough. That conjunction doesn't happen often in the cycle. So when Pluto and Uranus were in conjunction in the 1850s, 1840s, we had the Industrial Revolution. Field cotton slaves was out. And now we have machines go and pick the cotton and graze the cotton in the South. We had the railroads being built, and we had planes being designed to be built. This is Pluto conjunct Uranus in the 1800s. The Wright brothers that later gave rise to the 1920s, 1930s was a Pluto transit. But then we had the backlash of the Spanish flu that killed over 30 million, look it up, 30 million people in all of Europe. This is Pluto in Scorpio. Scorpio and Pluto rules viruses, bacteria, deadly viruses and bacteria, protozoans, cyanobacterium, which can be very dangerous, E. coli, very dangerous. The Black Death. If we go further down the revolutionary wheel of the zodiac, it is the Black Death that went through every firstborn son of Egypt. Moses! Moses! You put goat blood on the door so the death doesn't come into the Hebrew homes, but it went into the Egyptians' homes and killed every firstborn Egyptian male. That was Pluto and Scorpio then. The locusts that came out of the fields and killed and ate all the crops. The frogs leaping, the boils, the hailstorms falling and decimating Egypt until the Pharaoh of Egypt had to bow down and claim Jehovah as the Lord and Master, the God of the Jews. Pluto in Scorpio. A pillar of fire led the Jews from Egypt at night, and a great cloud led them by day throughout the land of Egypt to cross over the land of Canaan. Pluto in Scorpio. All right. And if we go further down the dial, if we go further down the dial, we reach the actual chaos of the universe where planets are crashing against each other. Moons are being formed, and moons are crashing against their parent planets, and all that fire and ice going on until finally we reach Pluto in Libra, and the universe becomes structured. Now we have a sun and 10 planets, and planet Earth, the third rock from the sun, being its center. Libra, perfect balance and unity after the destructive nature of Scorpio, which is necessary to bring about balance in the cosmos. This gets deep. That kind of intensity, that kind of energy is inherent in each person born with Pluto and Scorpio in this generation. Those born in the 1980s, 1981, 82, 83, these people are here to destroy the current system. So those born in Sagittarius will bring the new world order of Aquarius. Pluto in Scorpio. You all understand? You all understand? Pluto in Scorpio. Oh, before I even lit the split, the beat, it just hits me. I want to move. Well, I got to give it a show, don't I? Let me tell you, if you're born with Pluto in Scorpio, you're here to destroy. Make no apologies about it. That is part of why you're here. But be careful what you destroy. Because in equal measure that you destroy, you are required to build. Scorpio symbolizes the Sphinx rising from the ashes. So if you're gonna be that nigga, that bitch that's gonna destroy, it better be worth the cause that you have in mind. Your philosophy better be intact. You better know what the fuck you're doing. Because the damage that you make, either in your own personal life or globally, contributing to the whole scheme of things, is irreversible. And there is no apologizing. Ladies and gentlemen, please donate. PayPal.me/ the people's astrologer. Okay, you're paying for content. Donate for the next video. And we're done with this segment. And it's not doing it. Ah, that's Saturn. That's Saturn, baby. And it's still not doing it. And it's still